Yeah, so welcome everyone at the
New Year clearing, create beyond this year.
Create Beyond Your Reality.
Yeah.
Create beyond the reality we all bought into is possible. What if far more is possible? We all have those types of New Year resolutions that next year I'm going to have more sex, more money, more ease. And usually we forget about the more ease, and the more sex is not coming. So we have more work, more problems, less friends, or more people who are not friends. But are you choosing to have awareness? So if you have no point of view about anything, what else could you have? Are you willing to have total ease, awareness, and clarity about everything? So just quickly, if you have any questions, you can type in, and the translators can help us to translate and ask, or you can type in on your language link, and then the translators can help. Or if you are online here on the English line, then also you can type it in or raise your hand or ask a question in many different ways. And thank you so much for joining. Cool. So, okay. So everything you decided that what is this year is going to be, and what it should be, and what you expect it to be, will you now destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And all the previous years when you failed to fulfill your dreams, and you bought into, oh, it's just another year when it's not going to happen, so why should I ask for anything? And anyway, there is no such thing as a good fairy who would do it for me, and it's not going to happen at all. Will you destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And everywhere you bought into that there is only one day in a year when you have to make a New Year resolution, or when you have to choose what will happen next year, or what will you change next year. Will you destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What if you can choose every moment? What if you can choose what's going to happen in every moment? What if you can choose in all areas of your life? And are you willing to practice it? Are you willing to choose? Are you willing to be in question, not just once a year, like when you are like fully drunk, waiting for the next moment when everyone is, oh, Happy New Year. And then, okay, what can we create from this space? So what if are you willing to create your life from the space of the infinite being that you are? And are you willing to have what you choose? And are you willing to have the ease to create a change? Are you willing to have an ease with choice? So the thing is, when you choose something, then you will have the awareness of what it creates, and not before. And choosing doesn't mean that you have to actualize it, but choosing means, okay, if I choose this, what would my life be like in 1 year, 5 years, or just at all? Because that's how you get access to the energy that's created by your choice. It doesn't mean you have to create it, or you have to actualize it. It just simply, you can choose it, energetically it's already created, and it's up to you if you actualize it. And you can go further. Okay, I don't like it, go to the next. Anytime when you become aware of there is something greater and you bought into it, hey, you want too much. So therefore you stop your creation and everything you did to make it significant that you are not allowed to have too much, or you are not allowed to change your mind. So you destroy and uncreate all that. Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what would your life be like if you could choose and change anytime? What if that's not about being like someone who doesn't know what you want, because you are changing your mind all the time, but it's about following your awareness, following the energy of what's required here to create something greater. So everywhere you bought into that you are not allowed to change and you are not allowed to choose again, will you destroy and uncreate all that for all eternity? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What if you can change everything in your life? Not just your clothes, not just your underwear, but you could change, for example, your relationships, or you could change the financial situation that you have. What if you can change your whole lifestyle? What if you can change your body? What if you can change your the way your body responds, the way your body functions? What if you can change how much money you earn and how you earn money? And what if you can start to have so much money and create so much money that you can even donate? So what change can you create in this world? Are you choosing to have that change? So what are the limitations in your reality that you bought into, that this is how much I can have in this lifetime? So all the times, all the moments in this lifetime or before this lifetime, just, before you came into this body. So everywhere where you decided what are you going to have in this lifetime, and all your promises also as communities to this lifetime, that, okay, this is what I'm going to have, I promise. Will you now revoke, recount, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce for all eternity? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And all the other people's projections and expectations towards you, and everything that they made you to promise that this is what you're going to be, this is what you're going to have, this is what you're going to do in this lifetime, or this is what you will do as an adult. So everything that brings up, will you now revoke, recount, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate for eternity? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
What else is really possible beyond this reality? What magic can you create this year beyond this reality, beyond your imagination?
So it's not about that, okay, I have these possibilities, like I have this job, I have this profession, I have this business, I have this partner, I have these things, and I have to choose from what these possibilities offer me. I have a failing job. Oh, that's cool. What can I create from this? So it's not about what you already have, what you think you already have as a possibility, that, oh, what can I create from these things? But if you had nothing, and if you had everything, if you had access to the space of infinite possibilities, quote unquote, you are an infinite being, so you have access to it. So if you had access to the space of infinite possibilities, what would you create in this lifetime? What would you create beyond lifetimes? If you have access to all energies, vibrations, and information, what would you create this year? And what it doesn't have to be limited to this year. If you could go beyond all the years and all time and dimensions, what if you can receive information and energy from different dimensions, from different realities? And what if you can go beyond this reality, beyond the reality that everyone says is so solid, so significant, this is what you have to follow? Are you choosing to go beyond all of that? Are you choosing to have total ease with creating your life? And everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So everywhere, this is the year where you decided that, okay, this is just another year. And you already gave up creating your life. So how many times did you give up creating your life?
Before you start, how many times did you already gave up your projects or your whatever you wanted to create before you started? And everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
actually, who does this belong to? So whose lies and limitations and points of view did you buy into when you gave up your life, your creations? Who told you that this is a failure? What you have done was a failure. So therefore, don't do it again. So everywhere you bought into other people's point of view about your creations, and everywhere where you measure your life and your creation through the eyes of others, through the judgment of others, or everywhere where you judge yourself and your creations. It doesn't really matter whose judgments, yours or someone else, it's just a judgment. So everywhere where you are judged, or you judge yourself as a failure, will you now destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Cool. Because actually everywhere where you judge you, yourself, and your tools, you solidify it and you create a limitation. You say, okay, these tools are not good. Okay, these resources are not good. Okay, my awareness is not good. I'm a finite pile of shit. Though you are not. So everywhere where you solidify yourself into the shit, where you destroy and uncreate all that, breaking through the wall of shit.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
What if this could melt away? And everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate all that?
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
So what's the life that you desire to have? If you could choose anything, because actually, yes, and now you can say, okay, but I have a family, I have a wife, I have a husband, I have kids, I have parents I have to look after. It's really limiting my life. I have to go to work every morning, like 5 or 6 days a week, or I have a part-time job and I can't fulfill my dreams because it doesn't give me the money I want. So when we try to create our life and when we look at our life from these points of view, you can't create more. You can't create anything else. People have a point of view that I really need to have all the things before I could go further. Like I need to have like a university degree before I could create my life. Or I need to have $1 million before I could have a business. What if it totally doesn't work like that? So everywhere you bought into and created these points of view, or bought into the points of view that I need to have these things, or there are these conditions I need to meet before I could start to have what I really desire to have. Will you now revoke, recount, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, and destroy and uncreate, and return back to the sender? All of that.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
One thing is buying into other people's points of view about what is required for this. Another thing is following the energy of what's required for this. And that's totally different. So if that's required to create your life or create something specific in your life that you really desire, if that's required to go to the university or to meet with someone, then do that. Of course, because that's following the energy. But if we do things from the space of following other people's points of view and judgments, then it will not create anything else, just their judgments.
And if someone would like to judge you, they will judge anyway. It doesn't matter what you are doing. You can't make them happy. So what if you just lower the barriers and receive all the judgments? Because all the judgments are a huge amount of energy. We make it good or bad. So what if you just remove the label of the judgment and just receive that huge amount of energy? Because there will be always someone who judges you. So
easy to find them.
Yeah. So what if you just receive all of that and create your life from that energy? And be grateful. Oh yes, let's judge me, more judgment, lots of energy. I can create whatever I want.
Judgment is a free source of energy that I would say it's infinite.
Yeah.
Because people will judge you forever. People will judge you for your clothes, whether you have or you don't have, or what's the color of it, whether it matches your eye color or your hair color or the skin color or not, whether it matches your age, your profession, your financial background or not. What if you would rather use it to create your life? Use everything to create the life you desire to have. So what's the judgment that we can create with using anything that would create more in my life? Because they will judge you anyway. That's why Gary says, like, make yourself look like a wealthy person, so they will judge you that you have money. And what it will create, you will have more and more money.
So everything that doesn't allow you to receive all the judgments and create your life from these energies, would you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah.
Cool. So everywhere you decided that I have a life and I can't really change it. And everywhere you made it significant what you have achieved, therefore you don't want to give it up, or therefore you don't want to change it, because I already achieved this, and this is the maximum I can have, or this is the best I can have. So everywhere you decided this is the best I can have, you destroy and uncreate all that. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What if you can have even greater and better? You already know you can have even greater and better, but you had to solidify it by saying that, but this is the best I can have. This is the best I can have means you gave up. You know you can have more, but you decided, no. This is the best I can have.
I do my best. Are you doing your best, or are you doing everything what it requires?
So when you say I do my best, it means you already have a picture about what you can do and how far can you go. So everywhere you decided who you are, therefore this is how far I can go, you destroy and uncreate all that.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
What if you could create from the space of the infinite being that you truly be, and functioning from that space and from that consciousness and awareness and clarity of the infinite being that you truly be? What would your life be like in 5 years' time if you were choosing to function from the space of the infinite being that you truly be? What would your body be like in 5 years' time if you're choosing to function from the space of the infinite being you truly be? And everything that doesn't allow it, all the past life commitments, all the promises, oaths, vows, fealties, communities that doesn't allow you to be as conscious as the infinite being that you truly be, will you now revoke, recount, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, and destroy and uncreate? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Everywhere you decided that this is not the lifetime when I will become that conscious, or when I will be myself. And everywhere you decided I have to be punished for what I have done. And that's for all eternity, because you've done something very, very terribly bad. So you have to pay for that for all eternity. Will you now revoke, recount, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
So are you choosing to create your life beyond this reality?
Actually, are you allowed to create your life? So everywhere, when you were a child and it was told that, hey, you are just a child, but once when you will be an adult, then you can have the life you desire. And then you looked at these people and you see that, okay, fuck, they work every day, they work late night, they work all the time, they are not happy.
I don't want that.
And also they said, okay, you are just a child, you have no word until or as long as you are a child, so you just don't tell me what you want. And they always told you, you don't tell me what you want because I don't care. I tell you what you have to do. Life is not about what you want, but it's about what you have to do.
So it means life is sucks.
Yeah.
So everywhere where you decided life is sucks, or you bought into life is sucks, would you destroy and uncreate all of that and return back to the sender?
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, and everywhere, everywhere where you bought into, there is only one track of this life, and you have to follow that track, and you only know one track, like the way your parents lived, or the way the people around you are living. And okay, this is life, they told me, therefore it is. Will you destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Just because no one else knows that, or just because no one else giving your feedback that, hey, you are right. So just because no one else empowers you, it doesn't mean you are wrong. It doesn't mean what you are aware of is wrong or it's not true. What if we don't need to be, what if we don't need a feedback from anyone? What if we don't have to wait for others to say, hey, you are right? What if you already know what you know and you can choose it and you can create it and you can actualize it?
And after you can receive all the judgments because you did it.
Because you magically did it and no one expected it from you. But what if you can create something or anything you desire, even no one expects that from you? And everything that your life was in the past, everywhere you decided, this is me, this is my life, this is how far I can go, you destroy and uncreate all that.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds, and all the reference points and the definitions from last year, who were you, and what you did, would you just destroy and uncreate all of that?
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, so everywhere where you are functioning from the reference points of what you think who you are, or from the reference points that you received from others of who you are, or from the reference points of what can you create or what you should create, will you now destroy and uncreate all that? What if you didn't have any reference points to life? What could you create if there were no reference points to life?
And everything that is, would you destroy and uncreate all of that? Times a godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Because we always try to look back to the reference points and see, okay, this is what I've done, so therefore I can do it again. Or I just need to change this and then that will be not a failure.
This is who I am, so I have to act like this. With my family, I am like this. I have to act like this.
All the time.
With my family, with my friends, I'm acting like this. I have to do this because they already know me. I can't change, otherwise, no.
So everyone who knows you and they have reference points about who you are, and you are following their expectations.
Because you are not allowed to change, otherwise you are not belonging to them anymore. Would you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Cool.
So what is the life you really want to create? You really desire?
So if you had no reference points, no limitations about what can you create.
No definitions.
Because the funny thing is, people try to create their life in a way that, okay, I need to know it first, how to create it. And when I know all the steps, then I start it. There's just only one problem with that. It has nothing to do with following the energy.
It's not working like this. But if you choose first and the how, the universe will show you the how, the steps, how to do that. What is the next step?
Are you choosing to create the life you desire? Like, no one knows how to create. First, you have to choose it. And then you will see, you will know what's the next step, what's required for that to be created.
And
So don't worry.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to, it's cool because no one knows. They can't speak about how did they do. So when you are there, when you already created what you desired and you look back, then you will know, this is how I did. Because you did what was required at the moment. And this is how you get there. So it only means that you need to follow the energy from moment to moment, because that's when you know what to be done. So you will have a sense, okay, I need to do this, and that will create that. Cool. I need to, that's about following the energy, because that will tell you what's the next step, what's required here to get there.
What else is possible beyond this reality?
I can tell you, you need to choose something beyond this reality. And when you choose something beyond this reality, you open the doors to that reality, and that reality starts to flow in, and you start to have it as your reality. You start to expand your reality. So are you willing to create your life from the space of beyond this reality? When it's, when your life is not good enough, when you had enough of all the shit in your life, it's just because you're an infinite being and your nature is expanding all the time and your life is not expanding.
When did you buy into you have to shrink, you have to fit in the box?
And you have to protect yourself.
Putting up the barriers and the walls because that's the full protection. But what if not?
What if it's about receiving? What if it's about having no barriers? What if it's about allowing yourself to receive, allowing your body to receive? So what's the life you desire to have, even if no one has that? And what's the financial reality you desire to have, even if no one has that on earth? What is the relationship that you desire to have, even if no one has that on earth? No one never had that before.
And it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means just
no one were choosing it.
So what do you really choose in this year, beyond this reality?
Are you willing to choose what you really desire to have and create and actualize it? It's everything that doesn't allow that we destroy and uncreate and return back to the sender with fun.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pokol, nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Cool. So, is there any question?
I have one.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So first I'm gonna go Turkish and then say it in English. Okay. Ben bir şey... I choose to create something. Something has happened and there comes some like how can I say, lack of excitement, like lack of enthusiasm, and this creation, and then I start to giving up on my creation. So what is that and what can I do with it?
Okay. So the first question is,
Yes.
do you truly desire to create this?
Got it. It's actually like no.
When you choose something that you don't desire truly, or when you choose something that's someone else's choice, like your parents tell you that, hey, you have to be a lawyer, and you say, oh, fuck, no way. no. But you go to the university, you start to do everything for that, and maybe even you get there. But if you know, if you do something from that space of this is not for me, but they want me, so I will do it. What can you create from that? So how many people live their life from the space of they expect me to do this, but I don't really give a shit and I don't want to do this? So how many people around you are really, really successful, but they don't want to do what they do? Can this really happen? So how much energy do you put into your word, into your profession, into your job, into your family, into the things when you don't really enjoy doing it, when you don't really like doing it?
And the thing is, are you choosing big enough for you, for the excitement? If you choose small, that's not so excited. We don't do anything for that. But if we choose big enough, which is, wow, every day when you wake up, it's full of excitement. And yes, I want to do it. I want to create it. It's a different energy. It's a different space. So every time when you decided or when you bought into, you are not allowed to choose big enough for you because you are selfish. Would you destroy and uncreate all of that?
Or you're not allowed to choose big enough because you can't even create it because you don't have the tools for that.
It's too big.
Because it's too big.
Every time when you decided or when you bought into, it's too big.
Or it's too much.
It's too much, or you are too much. Will you destroy and uncreate all of that and return back to the sender with consciousness attached to it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Cool. So
that was awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question. So really, what can you create now? And what is the space that you are willing to function? Or what is the space that if you were functioning from, you could create anything?
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for all the amazing translators. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are so grateful.
You are so nice a couple.
Thank
you so much.
You're
Thank
so
you.
kind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Guys.
Happy create your life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ciao, koala.